Hey, this is day 168 of reading the whole Bible this year. Today we read Proverbs 25 and 26. Let's go. Proverbs 25 starts off with a note that King Hezekiah of Judah had his men gather together these proverbs that are attributed to Solomon, but Hezekiah lived quite a while, several generations after Solomon, after the kingdoms split. And Hezekiah was a righteous and just king who brings Israel back into rightness and correct living according to the ways of Yahweh. He is credited in the Bible with kind of sparking a revival in the southern kingdom of Judah. So he, as part of his acts of righteousness and goodness, apparently helped compile some of these proverbs that were just sort of strewn about and brings them together to be included in this book of Proverbs. Proverbs by his ancestor, Solomon. All that said, we have a lot of kind of one-liners in this section, or just a couple of lines that sort of build on one another. And one thing that we see again a lot in both of these chapters is stuff that is not to be taken as absolute rule. These are not laws. These are not out and out 100% guaranteed principles of how to live. They are guidelines and wise sayings or wisdom that can often be applied in particular situations and may not be as applicable in another one. A great case in point is when we get to chapter 26 and we look at verses 4 and 5. Answer not a fool according to his folly, lest you be like him yourself. And then 5, answer a fool according to his folly, lest he be wise in his own eyes. That's not a typo. One says, don't answer a fool according to his own foolishness. The other one says, make sure you answer a fool according to his foolishness. Now, how are we supposed to know what to do? Is the Bible just contradicting itself? What's going on here? That is where a little bit of discernment and wisdom ourselves comes in. Don't just be foolish, but take our time and look at what it's saying. These are, again, guidelines, and situational context can give us a better idea of which of these we might want to apply when we encounter somebody who is being foolish or saying foolish things. One says, do not answer a fool according to his folly, lest you be like him yourself. And so if a fool is doing something absolutely foolish, don't just jump in and, respond exactly the same way. You're going to end up looking just like him. It's like that saying, don't wrestle a pig in the mud because the pig likes it and you just get dirty. And so don't answer a fool according to his folly, or you will just become like him. At the same time, if there is some foolishness that needs to be corrected, there is at other times an opportunity and a need to go ahead and speak up so that they do not think that they are wise or brilliant in their own eyes. That is up for discernment. And sometimes you might even find that you're starting off with one and you're trying to correct somebody and then turn it around and go, I'm ending up in a shouting match here. This is just elevating everything to a level of pure nonsense, and it's fruitless. And maybe I should dial it back a little. These two, how to respond to a fool, these two verses really speak to me in this time of, it's a good reminder to be aware of in a political climate like this, in a time such as we have in America today with all of the crazy unbiblical nonsense that's out there. There are times where it's best to just leave it alone, because we're just going to end up being just like them in trying to talk this over, or at least check our hearts and make sure, hey, I don't want to respond in kind the way that they're bringing up. At the same time, there are some who need to be responded to because what they are spouting is potentially dangerous and wrong, and in a way that without this correction, they might be encouraged to continue on in this foolishness. And so I'll leave you with that. Make good choices, pray and seek the Lord, and seek wisdom, and pray for discernment about when to apply each of these. Thanks for reading with us, And I'd love to hear what you think. So which of these Proverbs speaks to you, and what other questions or comments do you have? Let's talk about that. In the meantime, be rad for Jesus.